Hi there, my name is Richie Acevedo. I'm also known as the Cuban Assassin. I'm the son of a professional wrestler known as the Cuban Assassin. My dad had the original name. He's mostly more known for wrestling for Stu Hart's Calgary Stampede Wrestling and also for WOY TV4 Saturday Night Wrestling in West Virginia, and also for Emile Dupree's Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling in New Brunswick, Canada. This is a videography of my life and my career, sort of a sense. I don't know where to start it other than when I was a little kid growing up. It was kind of hard being a little kid growing up as the son of a wrestler. Was seen on a local television in WOY Saturday Night Wrestling. Just so for those people who don't know, in Oak Hill, West Virginia, ran from 1954 all the way until 1977. My dad would wrestle there in 1968, 69, up until 1973. He was a main fixture for WOY Saturday Night Wrestling, and I can tell you one of my biggest memories as a kid growing up definitely was watching my dad on television. It was kind of odd, I think, seeing my dad in television. I don't think it really clicked to me on what he was doing and the purpose of it. I just knew he was on TV, and people kind of saw my dad as a TV star. That's how it was back in those days. And they didn't even have cable. It was antenna and broadcasted off of antenna, and they got 2 channels. And Channel 4 was one of those channels, which was WOY TV4. Saturday Night Wrestling came on Saturday nights at 11:30, and my dad wrestled there, and I had to go to school. And of course there was a lot of bullying. Bullying existed then in school as it does today, and I was pretty much bullied. They called me Little QB, and it was a name I really hated. But I never forgot watching my dad on TV when I was a little kid.
Right now, Cuban Assassins, along with you and Mr. Carlo, are in the ring. And of course, over on the left of the screen, you see one bad boy, Billy Hines, their manager.
And he's been a real nemesis for Powers for the last year. He's a little guy that gets in a big way all the time. He is there in front of you, behind you, beside you. But finally, we had Hines. After many, many months of negotiating, we got the promoters of IWA to insist that if he was going to be ringside, that it would be contained somehow. And we asked for an 8-foot cage, and that's where Mr. Hines is right now, being put in the cage. And there's no way that little dude's even going to climb over the top of it. This was because he fussed with so many matches, single matches that I've been involved in, and other wrestlers like Nick. He was involved many times when ex-champions, the Tyler Boys, were involved in their matches. He just fussed a lot at the matches and could create a lot of havoc with them.
And of course makes it 3 against 2.
Yes.
In this case now we've got 2 on 2. Carlo and Powers and the Cuban Assassins. And you might want to comment on the Cuban Assassins. They're a new group to this area. They've wrestled all over the country, and right now they are stalking the ring, as it were.
That's exactly what they appear to do. This is the first time I had seen them in the flesh. I had seen publicity shots on them. Enormous energy levels. They were constantly moving around the ring and climbing the ropes. They were doing that before the match. During the match, the wrestling fans will just see just what a finely conditioned pair these two are. They have enormous ring sinks. They are all over the ring, but seem to know what they're doing most of the time. And Nick and I had our hands full for sure with this. I understand that they're brothers. It's a little hard to communicate. One, I don't talk to Hines, and 2, I understand that their contract is being renegotiated with the General, Big Bad John. And I'm certainly not about to talk that lout. And their names, I believe, are Acevedo. One is called Angel, another Royale. And the bigger of the two is Angel, I understand. And an Angel he isn't, as a lot of wrestling fans will find out. He might be back home an Angel, but he certainly wasn't in the Winston-Salem Coliseum that night. They have a great success record all through South America. They had come up through, I understand, the East Coast, stateside. I think it shows you just how well-rounded IWA is on that international flavor. You know? From Italians like Nick to Canadians, to Canucks like myself, and to the Cubans, to von Stroheim as a German. There are just numerous wrestlers. There's a number of Japanese wrestlers in the process. I understand their contracts will be negotiated with the IWA promoters to come into the area. There is a new Indian wrestler that's coming in shortly, Pistol Pez Watley, who is in the match we mentioned previously.
Last week.
Right, great. He's an All-American fellow for sure. University of Tennessee, former Tennessee AAU amateur wrestling champion, state champion, and just a super dude. The IWA ranks are becoming even more rounded and powerful with a new and increased lineup of wrestling stars. The referee here, I listened to the referee. One, there was a communication problem. I don't know if they speak English at all, or if they do, how much. He was trying to direct them and get some kind of order in the ring, and it wasn't happening for a number of minutes there.
And we're underway. There's your partner, Nick DiCarlo.
There's an example of ring sight. The other partner coming into the ring, going out again, just to get you mentally off balance, right? While his partner is having a chance to assess you and set you up for something. He's coming into the ring. Watch this move. He really fakes him out well. It looks like he's going for arm drag. He ducks down and gets his man in position. Good move. Nick is we're like brothers now in the ring. We just think as one. Both of us are basically individuals from the standpoint of life and to function in the ring in singles competition. But it just gelled so well, the wrestling strategy and his ability in the ring and his just fine sense of ring timing. And I think we complement each other. Nick is a barrel-chested young fellow, great upper body strength, and does good moves with side headlocks and any kind of upper body ring strategy. Plus, he has, I'd say, one of the finest drop kicks in the business.
Now he's on the disadvantage for sure, but how he pays off the champion.
Now, Cuban came down, and as he's coming through the air, put both heels on the table, which was about 2.5, 3 foot above the concrete there, and then went down. So, and there's Billy Hines rattling his cage.
Not enjoying the proceedings at this moment.
Right.
Referee is Jim Dotson, and the count is on.
Jim Dotson had a hard time. A referee's position is a lousy position to be in, especially in a tag match. You've got to be on top of it. You try to be on top of it, but you can't all the time. There's just so much going on with 4 bodies in there, and sometimes 5 with the manager if he is around the area. It's very hard not to look bad sometimes. Good elbow smash and chest. Side hip lock, take over. Good position. There's an example of what Nick likes to do, is get in close and put a good side headlock on. He gets a lot of pressure. There was an ex-world champion, Ed Strangler Lewis, who that was his favorite hold, and won many a match with a good crushing side headlock. That's where many of the cauliflower ears in this business, the wrestler's sport, come from. Side headlock. Good short tackle. Second tackle.
Right now you have to be pleased with what's going on.
Good counter move, right? Hip lock and a double kick from the skate. Back into the side headlock. Nick knows where he's at in the ring. Good position, moves well.
Crowd really got into this match too. I might add, I was there at the ringside, and they were really into this one.
Yeah, it's the Winston-Salem Coliseum, as I think most of the people on the IWA network know, has special meaning for Johnny Powers. I had a whole year's battle trying to get into the Coliseum after we were blocked from getting a continuous of our matches there. And this is the first re-debut of IWA in the Winston-Salem Coliseum after a year and 2 months. And the fans just turned on. And I think the wrestlers were all up for it, too. All of us. It was like coming home again. It's like you've been away in a long tour and you come home with the family. And that's how the wrestling fans are in Winston-Salem. And it's just not the residents of Winston-Salem, because the wrestling fans that come down to the Coliseum come from a long distance. They come from, part of them from Virginia, the Martinsville, Collinsville area, Danville, Rocky Mount, Virginia. Some even come all the way from Roanoke and Lynchburg.
I had a fellow tell me, excuse me, that came up to ringside and introduced himself and said he'd driven 100 miles from over the other side of Raleigh, Durham, to see this.
Wrestling fans have great loyalties. That whole surrounding area, up north, that Mount Airy area, in King and over there, in Salisbury, Lexington, all over, other side of Greensboro and other side, Burlington. Just the wrestling in this marketplace is just well supported if you give them the right product. And I think IWA, the matchmakers and the promoters, are doing just that. They're doing a fine job of putting together exciting matches and bringing in good talent that has an enormous appeal for this marketplace, that's different and new and unique, and many times controversial, like the two Cuban Assassins. This is a different move, a dive on an arm when he's got it in a strange position. It doesn't take much to do a lot of damage to the joint areas, the elbows and the knees. And you can
hard kick right there to the back of the neck.
Bust up and do a lot of harm to the ligaments and tendons with just a small amount of force. These fellows are not enormously tall, but powerful they are. I'd guess they're somewhere around the 5'10", 5'11" mark, weighing in somewhere around 225, 230. But do they move? And here's an example of double teaming. The referee should have been a little tighter on this, but it's hard to fault him for it, because it's just the control in the tag team matches is very, very hard.
Tag is made, and there you are.
The tag was made, but Jim Dotson did not see the tag. And you should have heard the fans and Powers yell here. I'm trying to point to take a look. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of fans up there, and they're bearing witness to the tag. And the referee says, if I didn't see it, I didn't see it. Strong move on that left arm. Here's an example of good wrestling strategy, where you continue to work on one body part and wear it down.
All right, the Cuban Assassins. All right, we've taken our commercial break, and Johnny, we're right back to the action. Nick DiCarlo, yours truly, and the Cuban Assassins.
And they're still working on that arm. The key with these boys is that they can wrestle, and they keep constantly tagging out and coming in with a fresh partner. And if you can do that, good time. And the referee should have seen that time.
Right into Nick. Great action. The crowd at this point was on its feet and yelling, "Go, Johnny, go!" Which had to pump up the old adrenaline.
It feels good, you know.
Home crowd advantage.
Exactly that. Right. Any athlete who's competing in any sport, when he feels the support of the audience there, and you feel better. You don't want to let them down. You function basically as an individual, and your own sense of pride says, well, I don't want to look bad in the ring. I want to compete as strongly and as well as I can. But when you've got a bunch of people there that are kind of looking out for you and looking after you, to support-wise, you just let out a little better. Hard bump, it's knocking in the corner post there.
I thought we had the Cuban Assassins now. They were in Winston-Salem a couple of weeks ago. They will be wrestling throughout the Carolinas during the months to come.
Right, and in Virginia, too, all through the IWA network down here on the East Coast. This is where I thought I had them, but it shows the resilience, the strength of both of them. The partner came in to give him that extra couple-second breather, And if he doesn't get up, right, I thought most men cannot take a crack to the head like that with a steel post. But he comes out of it. This shows you when an athlete's really in condition, you can take an enormous amount of punishment and still come back and keep the match alive.
Of course, this was a long match. It had to go over 22 to 25 minutes.
It felt like a couple hours in there. There are sometimes, if you're really in shape and you feel you've got your match psyched out, you can coast once in a while. This is not a match where you could coast for a second. If we didn't stay on top of it, we would have lost the belts. There was no question about that. I figured I'd give the Cuban a little exchange on the arm lock that he'd give to Carlo, just so he didn't think they were going to get away with it.
On the fans jumping up in front of the cameras that were there at the Coliseum.
Wrestling's a spectator sport. I mean, the fans just turn on. They get really involved with
Up and over.
And here's a backdrop that not many wrestlers can take. The fellow had to go up about, I'm 6'4", and if I put my arms up like that, it's over 8 foot, so it's all taken up with backdrop. He should have stayed down.
Nice move.
He got with it. Strong fellows. They're all over the ring, and it's hard to stay on top of them. The fans, a lot of the fans didn't sit down for the whole match, I don't think.
That's right. It's so hot. You talk about if anybody's ever boxed, and I know every kid in the country has boxed a round, one round, which is like 3 minutes. You're just
You're beat.
Yeah. But this goes on for like 22 to 25 minutes. It was very, very warm under the lights. And of course, when you're taking in and out of the ring, when you're taking the shots, sooner or later somebody's going to have to throw in the towel.
It's an example, too, of for all the wrestling fans that are used to watching studio matches that are taking various locations around the country. This is an example of the atmosphere that's in the arenas and coliseums, and why you should come out when the wrestling matches come to your area. There's a whole different feel and flavor to it in a coliseum environment where there's thousands of people and the fans just make sometimes the building literally vibrate, and the different effects, the lighting effect is different. It's when you're just seeing the studio environment, you see, or a TV auditorium, you might see 2 or 3 or 400 people sometimes, but here you see literally thousands of people, and you really get into it, and this is what makes the wrestling fans come out. Once he's come down and he's seen the part as this is here on the Coliseum.
I thought this was it, but off the top rope. And that is why the IWA promoters decided to go out and tape this match in Winston-Salem, so we could put it on television along the IWA network and let the fans just see the match from the Coliseum standpoint. And of course, you don't have the time limit. On television, we're working on an hour.
Right.
And so you don't, some of these matches, the last 3 I know at the Coliseum were hour time limits. So in every match, I think the last 3 went over 20 minutes. And of course, on television, when you are restricted to an hour of TV time, you cannot have a match that goes on and on and on and on. Because of the time.
There's different times. There are 15 and 20 minute time limit matches on television.
Besides the atmosphere you're talking about that you get in the Coliseum, where you have
and you see
large
top
crowds.
And you see top matchmaking too. The promoters go all out to make sure that their matchmakers come up with exciting combinations, and that the fans will want to see and come down and get good box office results, because that's where a promoter is really at, right? He's interested in a lot of people coming down, so he's got to supply a good product in the Coliseum.
Got to pay those bills, like any business. And of course, we've got a great match coming up, so stay with us. You're going to see the magnificent Zulu, and he is that, against Dick the Bulldog Brower on this hour.
Big dude. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
And there's an example. The referee should have been a little tighter in that. If they're going to, another man's going to come in, it should be a legal tag.
Like a basic claw hole there.
Yeah, it's a nerve hole that digs deep in the side of the neck and into the trapezius area.
Yeah, smart. right off the top rope. Now, right now, you don't like to watch this.
No, this
not great fond of memories here.
He's got a leg grapevine on and an arm bar, and doing a good job on me. And the body weight, I probably outweighed him by maybe 10, 15 pounds. But the way he's positioned on top, it's hard. You can tell I was doing my best to get out of it. And I'm not moving very far because he's got a good leg grapevine on me. Good position. And this is an example where you can ride your man and wear him out. He's got to lift your body weight and his body weight too, right? So he's got a double workload there. Straight arm bar.
And now you've been in the ring a good 6 to 8 minutes.
Right. Good ring strategy, both assassins. A hard team to work against. Very hard team to wrestle.
Just a couple of weeks ago in the Winston-Salem Memorial Coliseum, taped highlights of the tag team championship battle between Nick DiCarlo, Johnny Powers, the current IWA tag team title holders, and the Cuban Assassins. We also want to make mention that IWA Wrestling will be returning to Winston-Salem on April 27th. That's a Friday night at 8:30 with an all-star lineup. I understand Zulu is returning, and Hez Watley, and Big Bad John, Brower, you'll be there, DiCarlo, Sohan, Danny Little Bear, who's a new wrestler to the area. It's going to be a great program. May the 27th at 8:30. It's a Friday night. And again, you have not managed to get over, and I know you're trying to make that. Do you ever lose where you're at in the ring? Like, where is DiCarlo? Is he over here? Is he over there? My Lord, where is the man? I've got to make the tag. I'm tired and I'm hot. I need a break. I need to catch my breath. Do you ever lose exactly where you're at?
Your ring sense. Sure. I think any wrestler says it doesn't is not telling like it is. If you're really positioned there and you concentrate on one thing, if you're concentrating on your opponent, you can't always keep aware of what else is going on outside the ring. But you try to as much as you can, as quickly as you can, or you don't survive in that ring. Depending on your ability to keep it all together in a tag match, you've got to take advantage of every opening and every breather. That's what makes tag team matches exciting. They originated in Australia. The formal title is Australian Tag Team Wrestling, and there's just so much more action goes on in a tag match because you can tag off and get out of that and let a fresh man come out. Nick's all wrong. He's going to do a job of it. It's a fantastic move. Look at the slingshot into the corner bucket. And building a new face there.
And again.
Another example.
This is a fantastic
good move.
Right over the top rope and out.
That should have been the match right there. Good frog smash. Good shot.
We got them both out. Here comes number 1 and number 2. I don't know their names either. Hard to tell them apart.
Suplex.
Oh.
Good setup for finishing.
He came back.
Tackles. Side. We're going to side hip lock him, and their arms locked and they're at the top of. It's a freaky move. I've never seen it happen before in wrestling. An attempt at a side hip lock and almost a completion. That was the other assassin going to try to double team Nick on the floor.
All four
wasn't going to happen as long as I
now.
could walk.
And the count is on from the referee, Mr. Dodson. And now it's all over.
I don't think any of us were aware, except that one assassin was trying to get back in the ring there, aware of the timing that was going on there.
There was a count out. And what do you get? 30 seconds?
20 count on the floor, 10 in the apron, and a 4 count with a 5 as a disqualification on the ropes if you don't break.
Disqualification. All 4 wrestlers were outside the ring. And let's see what happens.
You, Nick, and I were aware of. We should have been watching the time closer. We got back in the ring, and would have had a better shot at it, a much better shot.
Of course, it's hard to tell with that much noise and that much confusion of exactly what's going on. Now the presentation of the belts. I think that's coming up. There's the man out of the cage. You know that fellow?
Yeah, Hines had tried to stick his nose in. And this is going to be one of the last times he does it.
He's got his walking stick. Right now he's bleeding, crying. Up and over.
Look at the fans.
Yes. I love this. Like a sack of potatoes. Great action from the Winston-Salem Memorial Coliseum. Tag team action with Johnny Powers, Nick DiCarlo.
When I was getting older, I didn't realize that after I graduated from high school that I was going to venture into the professional wrestling business, or what's called today now sports entertainment. I didn't have a clue. If you told me then, when I was watching Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, and the Road Warriors, or even watching Hacksaw Jim Duggan on TV from Mid-South Wrestling to the World Wrestling Federation at that time, and you told me, Richie, you're going to be in the ring with these guys 10 years from now, I would have never believed you. But that's exactly what happened. 10 years, and I was in the professional wrestling business, in the ring from watching them on TV, and had no clue that I was going to be in the ring with these guys. But my first venture into the entertainment business was the May 1988 Johnny McCarty 3rd Annual Benefit Show that he held, and he had it at the Oak Hill High School Auditorium. A teacher from the school there picked me, and it was a total of 6 guys, but only 4 of us showed up, which was myself, David Goff, Joe Tuck, and David Smith. And let's just say it was interesting. I was nervous, butterflies running through my stomach and everything, until I went down to the aisle to get on the stage. And I'm like the worst dancer in the world. I'm a very horrible dancer, but it was fun after I got on the stage. I guess you could say I was kind of bitten by the entertainment bug, I guess, sort of a sense. I still didn't think a year later, because that was in 1988, I graduated in 1989, I didn't think a year later, after I graduated, I would be actually stepping in the ring with people or being seen on television, but I was. But that Johnny McCarty 3rd Annual Benefit Show back in May of 1988 was interesting, I can tell you that. Man, was I a horrible dancer. I was a terrible dancer.
I'm your weather girl, and I got news for you.
I would graduate in 1989, June 2nd of 1989, from Oak Hill High School in Oak Hill, West Virginia. It was a proud moment in my life because it's my first accomplishment in life, and that's something that no one can ever take away from me, and I'm kind of proud of that moment. It's still one moment in my life I always reflect back on. I certainly do miss my high school years. If I'd known how tough or how hard it would be in life to live life. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, kids, you're lucky. You're at home, your mom and dad's taking care of you. You got the best of times right now, and you need to make the most of it. Because when you get out in the world and you got to work, pay your bills, and you got to do something for yourself, make a name for yourself, or better yourself in any way, I tell you, you got the best of times right now living at home with mom and dad taking care of you. And you should really thank mom and dad taking care of you, because when you get out and you start taking care of yourself and you start seeing the choices you make for the decisions you have in your future. And I'm going to tell you, people, all you kids in high school that's starting like in the 9th grade or the 8th grade, you need to start, 9th grade or the 10th grade, you need to start thinking about your future now. I mean now. Because what you're going to be doing from this point is what's going to determine you and what you decide you want to be in the future. And you always need to look at things 10 years down the road. What would I be like, or who will I be in 10 years down the road? And that's the way you need to look at life, because it goes in decades, 10 years intervals. Everything changes within 10 years, and a lot happens within 10 years. But I never forget, I got to wear the mask of one of the Super Bs and wrestle as one of the Super Bs for Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling for Emile Dupree. That's where I started in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. But my first match would be in PEI, Prince Edward Island, at the Montague Arena against Eddie Watts, a great wrestler and a very good friend of mine. And I never forget that first match ever in my life. But I had fond memories being one of the Super Bs. And, man, it was fun times starting off. Of course, it was very brutal, very hard. The wrestlers didn't give me no leeway whatsoever, none whatsoever. So I had to make the best of it, what I could do with it, and that's what I did. And just making some extra cash helped Dad out, because he didn't believe in free living, and he trained me. Of course, I'm not going to deny that point when I got there. I didn't think about being a wrestler. I've always grew up watching wrestling. I didn't think about being a wrestler, but one of my favorite wrestlers on TV, other than my dad, when I was a kid in the 70s, but in the 80s, one of my favorite wrestlers to watch was Tully Blanchard. I always thought he was one of the greatest heels, as we call it in the business, or bad guys, what you guys want to call a villain, wrestling villain. One of the best. I think the two best wrestling villains in wrestling history is Tully Blanchard and Gorgeous George. And if you know, Tully Blanchard is the one guy that never turned good from the Four Horsemen. Everybody else became baby faces. Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Lex Luger, Barry Windham, even Nature Boy Ric Flair himself. They all became baby faces. And that's how the game went. But Tully Blanchard always stuck out in my mind, and I wanted to be, if I was going to be a heel, I wanted to be just like Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard was the guy that I grew up watching on TV. Super B was a tremendous thing for me to do, because I had to wear a mask, and I remember around, if we get 3 or 2 miles outside the arena, I had to put the mask on, because it was what the business then was called a kayfabe business, and we had to keep it secret. It's kind of reminded me of like being part of the mafia or something. You know, you had to be real secretive. The heels and babyface and the good guys and the bad guys couldn't mix with each other inside bars. If one was already there and you walked in, you turn around to the left bar and went the other way. But I have everlasting memories of being the Super B, and these guys played jokes on me too. They wait till 2 or 3 miles before they come into the town. I had to put the mask on, and they stop in the convenience store, and since I was the rookie, or the greenhorn, or whatever you want to call it, the newbie, they made me go in and go buy their stuff. I was getting ready to take the mask off, but then they said, no, we're in the distance of the town. You have to keep the mask on. So I had to go inside the grocery store with the Super B mask on and go buy their stuff. I can only imagine what the clerk was thinking when I walked in. Pretty embarrassing, but they do that a lot when I come to the arena. Like, right, we had to put the mask on, before we get to the arena, and then they would do it again when we leave. Right before we got out of the area where I could take the mask off, they'd do it again and make me do it again. And they did this on a regular basis, but it was fun. I look back at it now, it was fun. Then I thought I was going to be arrested by the RCMP for going inside of a convenience store with a wrestling mask on. So those guys, the ribs of the business and the jokes they played on me, it was pretty funny. I can look back now and laugh about it. I think it's kind of unique, but I really enjoyed being a Super B.
Here we are ringside. Bulldog Bob Brown.
Oh, it's certainly great to be back here.
Is joining us. And right off the bat, we get a look at the Super Bs. If Paul Peller could ever get his act together outside the ring.
Well, listen, somebody tried to get smart with Paul Peller, and Paul Peller went out and just told the guy where to get off at and stuff like this, and now we're back to the action.
Well, this match is underway. Paul Peller and Butcher Vachon up against the Super Bs. Now, I got to ask you right away, Bob, how do you distinguish between B number 1 and B number 2?
Well, I can't tell them apart, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to get to know them quite regular because I hear in the next 10 or 12 days they're coming after me and Chono for the Tag Team Championship. So we should be able to get to know them just a little bit better by the next TV card.
Well, Butcher Vachon misfiring there as he smacked his own tag team partner, stomping Paul Peller to the mat.
They just didn't communicate right, and they'll get together. They're a good team, you know. When you talk about Butcher Vachon and Paul Peller, you're talking about two veterans of professional wrestling. And listen, they're in there against the Bees, and I tell you what, the Bees have got their hands full, and they've got to be prepared if they're going to go and win this match.
Well, the Super Bs, I was going to bring up a point earlier, certainly hard to distinguish for the fans, but I imagine it must be havoc for the officials because in these tag team situations, you have to be aware at all times which wrestler is in the ring, which one is out of the ring, and I can see situations whereby the Super Bs might be able to take advantage of that situation.
Well, let me tell you, they've taken advantage of the situation many, many times, you know. They go in the ring illegally, and the referee doesn't know nothing about it. So here we go again with another miscommunication. But I tell you, I'm sure Paul Peller, the veteran that he is, will come out of this and come on strong to win the match.
Well, Paul Peller right now seems to be more concerned about his tag team partner, Butcher Vachon. Vachon has already laid in two half-decent licks on Peller, and this tag team is rife with dissension. Vachon is going to get his turn in against the Super Bs. Here's Vachon with an overhand right. Off the ropes goes Vachon, up and over, and oh my! Butcher Vachon, I think, wants to get out of town in a hurry because he's now finding out what it feels like to be on the stinging end of this attack from the Super Bs.
Well, there's no question about it, Gary. You know, being a color commentator, probably with the greatest TV announcer and the only wrestling on television. Hey, what can I tell you? Listen, these guys are a good team. And you know that next week, you know that they're going to find out how great they really are because they got Chono and Brown throughout the Maritimes. And listen, it'll be a matter of time till I find out myself how good they really are. But since they've been here, they're undefeated.
Well, I certainly appreciate the comment concerning my announcing capabilities. I wish I could say the same for your wrestling abilities, Bob Brown, but of course the jury is still out, even though, for the moment, Bob Brown and Tokyo Chono are the reigning tag team champions.
And don't forget, I got Hustler Rip Rogers, international heavyweight champion. Later on in this program, you're going to meet him. You're going to meet him in person. And you'll find out when the Army gets together will be the strongest thing since Pearl Harbor.
Of course, Bob Brown and his Army, well known for their tactics in and outside of the ring. Already the Rampage has certainly stirred up fans in a number of centers. We have one unconfirmed report, and I'd like to get you to comment on it now. that members of the Army, including yourself, have been beating up on fans in the Maritimes?
Well, you know, the fans in their towns want to take part of the matches. Hey, listen, if they get into the ring, they're going to get a licking. We're not going to go looking for trouble, but we're not going to back down from trouble either. Hey, we're a strong team. The Army's strong, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And before the year's out, ask Leo Burke and the Beast and Big Stephen Pettipaw how strong the Army is.
Oh, stopping Paul Peller, mounting a strong attack here against Super B number 2. Super B number 2 is in there. And Peller seems to have some sort of chokehold. There's no question that's a choke, but Peller, as you have mentioned, Bob Brown, a crafty ring veteran, able to shield the choke away from the referee.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you the truth, when Paul Peller's on,
the action now outside the ring. Super B number 2 is down on the cement floor. Paul Peller has tagged with Butcher Vachon. Super B number 2 is back in. Vachon will try the suplex, and that really has to hurt, especially when it's applied by the likes of Butcher Vachon. Body slam.
Oh, my
now
goodness.
Vachon will climb the ropes.
This is it right now.
This could be it. This could be it. Vachon going skyward. Here he comes. No! Super B number 2 avoiding that collision. Here's the tag. Peller's also coming in. Off the ropes goes Paul Peller. Drop kick. And down goes Peller. Vachon in to interfere. And he is sent flying. Paul Peller. Off the ropes again. Super B number 1. Vachon in to interfere otherwise.
What an exciting match this has turned out to be. Now the Bees are on the offense now.
Small package. Here's the small package. Vachon again interfering.
The match is over again.
The match is over.
I thought the shoulder was up.
Hard to tell from this angle. Hard to tell from this angle, but the Super Bees remain undefeated. We'll be right back.
Well, you know, I'm getting ready to get to my 25th year of wrestling. 25 years, man. It's a long time. 25 years. I never would have thought about that. Back in 1989, I never would have thought about I would still be actively wrestling in business. I tried to quit several times, keep coming back. Did a match earlier this year I was kind of proud of. It was a battle royal. I'm not really fond of battle royals, and everybody knows that. I just won my first and only battle royal in 25 years, but there's one battle royal I did for a group called WVCW, West Virginia Championship Wrestling, and it was very memorable to me because it was the first battle royal that went accordingly. It didn't finish up too fast. We needed to get 15 minutes in, and that's what we got. And I thought,
fourth contest of the evening is a battle royal. Winner of this match will be crowned the Children's Miracle Network Cup winner. The rules of this match are simple. You are eliminated from the match when you are thrown over the top rope and both feet hit the floor. We will continue until one man stands as the winner of the Children's Miracle Network Cup. Match will begin on the first bell. I am joined by my favorite tag team partner, Mr. One Mighty Hojo. Hey, Hoj.
Hey, this is the greatest battle royal I've ever been in. I get to be on the microphone.
Exactly.
In the ring.
There's a lot of meat and manhood in that ring, Hojo.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and a little bit of ladyhood too.
Amen, brother.
And she's gonna whoop a man. Whoop a man.
Everybody out for that Miracle Network Cup, except us. We don't need it. We took care of the bunkhouse boys.
You know, I thought I was going to print up some flyers about that, but something happened to the printer on the way to the store.
Keyboard didn't work either. Hey, we got a lot of guys in there. Some guys I haven't seen before. Some guys we got.
Oh.
Who's out?
Here it comes. I see it.
We're going to have to watch the monitors here.
Yeah, because there's just too much action.
There's just too much going on. We're counting on our great director, Tommy Lester, to give us the best shots we can find.
Oh!
Connor Long with a shot right there to Jumbotron, whatever his name is.
Quan.
Quan, excuse me.
He is the greatest heavyweight from Korea. He's here on special assignment.
That's the whitest Korean I've ever seen.
It's a skin condition.
Okay. Is that like Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of great action. Still jockeying fear around.
Look at Chocolate Thunder. Look at
where Rip and Roger at?
Where Rip and Roger at? They got the Mad Dog and Benny coming up, and they're worried about that.
Evidently, they must be. Chocolate Thunder going after that cup.
Care. Mad Dog don't care.
No.
If he could have been in every match up till now, he would have been in.
Well, he's just a crazy.
Chop him, Mad Dog.
Chop him. Chop him. Chop him.
Yeah. Look at this. Michael Stevens is firing up on Chocolate Thunder and taking the best of it. Oh, well, that didn't last long. Yeah.
All right. Everybody still in? I think everybody's still in, Hojo.
This is surprising. Usually it's like the Titanic. The rats jump out, but
I know, no kidding.
What we got?
Oh, somebody's on the edge over there. Who? Oh, no, wait, pulling it back in. That's a Jester.
Up, Joey Johnson.
Joey Johnson and the Jester. That's funny. Down goes Jester. Down goes Joey Johnson. There's our first two eliminations. Joey Johnson and Jester are out.
Onto them. This is my spot. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, look at Chocolate Thunder.
Look at that.
Oh my gracious. He hasn't hit the floor yet.
Pick up another one. He didn't.
Down he goes.
Oh, that's a heap of, well, boyhood.
Well, there went the kid in the black tights.
That's it. That's one less we got to worry about. Sasaki is going to get him.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. She's got that junior heavyweight championship. I don't doubt her winning this sucker.
I'm telling you, she's one of the toughest men we've got, really and truly. Pound for pound, one of the toughest men we got.
She's a force in this locker room.
And she can make a mean sushi too. It's real good. California roll, real good.
Now, Silver City's on the outside, but I think he crawled under the bottom rope.
Under the bottom rope, he's been under the ring.
Oh.
What's he got? What?
He looks like Repo Man.
He's got the noose.
He's got the noose. Not the noose.
It's lynching time.
Oh, my Lord in heaven. Kid in the blue orange trunks got out right there.
Okay. Good-looking young kid there.
Oh, we got another one on the edge over there. That's
got him.
That's the silencer. Oh, that's a massive manhood there from Jumbo Quan.
Oh, Cuban Assassin down on the mat. That's a dangerous place to be in a battle royal.
So many feet. Kidding.
So many feet.
Pedro Martinez there, the big splash.
What exactly is Silver City doing?
You tell me. I have no idea.
I mean, he is.
Quan again with a big splash.
I know that the Silver City Strangler is the king of the Spider Monkeys of Doom. Is this some sort of special technique they have?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh. I think he just told the silencer to be quiet. Oh, Danny Ray and Mad Dog into it now. I think they're going to get Chocolate Thunder. No.
Okay, Assassin up there on the top rope. There's a lot of people going in a lot of different directions.
You got to watch that Assassin.
Assassin.
Tried to pull double duty and
pull
a quick one.
He's gone over the top rope. If his feet touch,
there
goes the Assassin.
There he goes. The Assassin is out. The Assassin is out.
Russian Invader. Or whatever.
Hey, what's the...
Uh-oh. What is...
The Assassin took his mask
Well, now, Bruiser Graham's in the ring.
Where'd Bruiser Graham? What happened to the Assassin?
I don't know.
He
must have got eliminated is all I can think of.
Did they buy their gear wholesale? They're wearing the same stuff.
I don't know. You know, you can catch those singlets on sale, Hojo.
Well, and T-shirt, too, and boots. Wait, you don't think?
I don't know, Hoj. I don't know at all.
Sure what's going on. This is why I stay out of these.
Amen.
That and love of my body.
I was going to say.
Because you see what happens. You've been a part of it before.
No kidding.
Everybody grabbing them.
Oh, down goes silencer right there. Big fashion.
Oh, no, the silencer's gone. And the crowd goes silent. Wow.
Chocolate Thunder was in a bad way there a second.
Oh.
He's over there locked up with the Russian.
Silver City's coming back in. He's got the Russian in his sight.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have no beef with the Russian.
The noose on it.
Noose on the Russian.
And the Russian's getting noosed. It's a good thing he didn't do Chocolate Thunder.
Absolutely. That could have ended poorly.
Yes. I think Jumbo Kwan's going
Look at Bruiser here.
Bruiser's in a bad way. You got 3 of them.
Down goes Bruiser.
Let's hope he don't take his shirt off and come back again.
Amen.
Oh.
Be as bad as you taking your shirt
Jumbo
off.
Kwan is
Jumbo Kwan is out. We're starting to thin this out here just a little bit.
Jumbo Kwan is ready to be deported
Sasaki
back.
with some happy feet right there. Got Connor and Steven in one kick.
I would love, you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see Sasaki kick that Russian right in his
Down
mouth.
goes Danny Ray right there.
Oh,
OSC's
no.
not going to win this cup.
You know, I really thought Eddie Hart had a chance. He's a grizzled veteran. He knows how to hide in these things. But you want to know who's hiding? Whoa!
There goes Mad Dog. Silver City just threw out Mad Dog. How? I need a nap. Connor Long still in there. Cuban Assassin still in there. Sasaki. Silver City. Down goes. That's 2 that the Silver City's thrown out. Down to 5.
Okay, so Chocolate Thunder throws 1 out, and Silver City throws 2?
Oh, my gosh. Silver City. Cuban, Chocolate Thunder, Connor Long, Sasaki, and Stephen Michaels still left, all battling for the Children's Miracle Network Cup.
And one has to think, okay, they're tagging up on Chocolate Thunder right now. You would have to think he's greater favorite. I mean, just the sheer strength.
Sheer size and strength, he's got the... Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Whoa.
He's got,
Down goes Chocolate Thunder. We're down to 5. Stephen Michaels, Connor Long, Silver City Strangler, Sasaki, and the Cuban Assassin.
You know, the Cuban Assassin, he told me something the other day. He said, I'm coming for this battle royal because I have never won a battle royal.
I heard the same thing. His entire 20-plus year career, never has he won a battle royal. He wants this cup and this victory.
And he is a master manipulator. He's playing with their minds now.
Silver City right to the knees there, Connor Long.
Stephen
Michaels straight after the Assassin.
And I'm sure he is. They had some personal
very
issues.
personal problems. Stephen Michaels there gets taken out by Sasaki. She's going right after Cuban.
Well, she didn't like what the Cuban was doing.
Hey,
either.
I'm going to tell you what, Cuban's got a big target on his back. He's the veteran in here. He wants it more than anybody, and they're going to go right after him.
That's right. And the crowd wants him thrown out. Because
He's made no fans out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Truly, the fans out there that are chanting for it, they want him thrown out for one reason. Go back here.
Sasaki went through the ropes to the outside.
Let's see if she
my
can get back in.
Well, my understanding on ladies' rules is she's out. Or is she still in? I don't know, Hojo. You tell me.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we just got clarification from referee Cody Green at Billiards that Sasaki is under women's rules, and that's through the ropes to the outside. She is out. We are down to Silver City Strangler. Connor Long, Stephen Michaels, and the Cuban Assassin.
Through the middle. I'm petitioning for a women's battle royal that I can enter then.
Yeah, sure you are. Stephen Michaels right after the Cuban.
Right into him. I think somebody's on Dream Street.
Oh, Connor Long and Stephen Michaels take down the Cuban. 30-30s on their feet.
They better get on him. Yeah. You got to stay on the man.
They took too much time.
You got to stay on the man.
Down goes Connor Long. He's to the outside. Cuban, Michaels, and the Silver City Strangler, all for the Children's Miracle Network Cup.
And truly, you know what? Connor Long.
He really doesn't.
But he's going to give some kids some comic books.
Absolutely.
He's a solid kid.
What a good man.
He may look a little shaggy and like a hippie, but...
Scoop slam there by Cuban.
So we're down to 3.
I think he's just going to start wearing people out. Kind of a partnership here. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, no. Looks like he's going into business for himself.
Absolutely. Now going right after. He wants this battle royal, Hojo. He wants it.
You know, maybe, just maybe, he can retire if he wins this. He's got him in the corner. Michaels blocks it. Fist of Fury. And again,
Stephen Michaels going right to him. They've had their issues. Maybe they'll settle it right here for the cup. Down goes, no, wait.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
Stephen
out.
Michaels is out.
So we're down to the Cuban. I hope not.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
It looks like he's going for a pile driver. Has the Cuban ever hit a pile driver?
Oh, Stephen Michaels back in the ring. Down goes Assassin! The Silver City Strangler!
He is your cup winner. He's won the Children's Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here is the Silver City Strangler.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Children's Miracle Network Cup, the Silver City Strangler!